Hey guys, welcome to my fourth XMage tutorial video. In this video I'm going to teach you how to play the game. Alright, we just entered a game against the AI. I'm going to go over the interface a little bit here. So here is the battlefield. Okay, here is you, and here is your opponent. Okay, within these boxes you have all this information. First you have the life total, it's also represented here by the big number. Here you have your hand size, poison counters, cards left in your library, energy counters, experience counters. This is your mana pool, your graveyard, cards in exile, or the command zone. For graveyard or exile, if you click them, it will bring up a window showing you what is currently in your graveyard or exile. Okay, great. Same with your opponent. If you want to know how many cards are in his hand, just check it out here. If you want to see what's in his graveyard or in exile, you can also click them because that is public information. Great. Over here, you have the current phase of the turn. Very important to keep an eye on this, just so you know where the game is at, whether the opponent's on his first main or second main. Over here, we have a chat window, so you can communicate with your opponent. It also has up here to begin with some great information about how the F keys work and just how to keep the game moving. Make sure you understand what those all do. Below you have the log. This is very important as well. It tells you the whole history of the game, and if you're ever really confused about what's going on right now, if you just read the log, you'll probably make sense of it. Okay, just to the left of that you have these same F buttons up here, but you can click these ones, and this just helps you progress through the turn. A lot of the times, say if you want to just skip to the next turn because you don't have anything to do on your opponent's turn, or to the end step, or to your next main step, these are very helpful instead of clicking through each individual phase. All right, let's read the log. So we have both shuffled our libraries, and I won the toss. So since I won the toss, it is telling me to select a starting player. If you notice, the box is green, and it corresponds to these pre-main phase phases. It also has the end step being green, so when you're in one of those phases, it will be green. When you're in your main phase, the box will be blue, and when you're in combat, it will be red. Great, so let's select a starting player. I will choose myself. All right, I chose that I took my first turn, and we both drew 7 cards. Since I chose to go first, I get to choose whether I keep my hand or mulligan. I have lots of land. I have a 2-drop. I have a removal, Vivian Reed. It's not the best hand, but I am going to keep it. All right, the computer decided to keep his hand, and we're on turn 1. All right, you can see that the upkeep is kind of out right here. That kind of just denotes that we are on the upkeep step. Play instance or activated abilities, done. All right, now it turned blue, and I'm on my first main phase. I'm going to play a land. All right. Forest. I'm going to play this because it mandatorily comes in tapped, and I have no 1-drops to play. So I have nothing else to do on my turn, so I am going to skip to the next turn. You can see that my opponent is now highlighted, indicating that it is his turn, and he is the active player, and he is on his upkeep step. I have nothing I can do to respond to him, so I'm going to skip to the main step. You can see he skipped his whole turn, and that happened really fast because it was against the AI. But like I said, if you're confused, just read the log. Okay, so the computer drew a card, he put a plane down, he attacked with 0 creatures, and now it's turn 3. Notice that it is not your third turn, but is turn 3 of the game. All right, so 2 Vivian Reeds, not the best. Anyways, I'm going to play a forest, and I am going to play my Merfolk Branchwalker. There are 2 ways to cast spells. The first way is the way I recommend, most of the time doing it, and I'll show you. You just click the card to put the card on the stack. Now after you've like in a real game of Magic, after you announce the card, you have to pay the cost. You just click your lands. You've paid the cost, and now you can hit done to let that resolve. And Merfolk Branchwalker has an enter the battlefield trigger. So once it enters the battlefield, it explores. So over here on the stack, you have this little symbol right here, the T, and that represents a triggered ability. This is not another Merfolk Branchwalker. You can see when you use your mouse wheel to look at the card, it now has a new text box on it. It is not like this. This represents the permanent. If it has a text box over it, that is a triggered ability of the card. So we're going to allow the explore to happen. It revealed a forest. Great. Reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Great. So we're going to get the forest. It ended up in our hand here. We have nothing else to do on our turn, so I am going to skip to next turn. Great. It is now my opponent's turn. He's on his upkeep. I'm going to skip to the main step. He played a Plains, and he is casting a Danto Vanguard. Pretty good aggro creature. Great. I'm going to let that resolve. And he passed his turn. Okay. I drew a card. Again, keep an eye on the log if you are ever confused about what happened. Great. Lots of land here. Okay. I am going to play... I don't really have any plays, so I'm going to play this Overgrown Tomb. And it's asking me if I want to pay 2 life. Otherwise, it's going to become into the battlefield tapped. So I'm going to hit no, I don't want to pay it. This Branchwalker, you know, this Danto Vanguard can get indestructible, so I don't... I think I want to hold back and chump just in case. Alright. So, sorry, my dog is going crazy. I am just going to skip to the next turn. Now that I have a creature that's able to attack, it's always going to pause on the combat step. I'm just going to hit done, and now just progress to the opponent's turn. Great. So let's go to his main step. Alright. So he played a Plains and attacked with 0 creatures, so he must have some garbage hand. Alright. Ooh, now we have a Jade Light Ranger. Double Explore. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to play these dual lands. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the other way that you can cast a spell. The second way you can cast a spell is by clicking your lands before the spell you want to cast. Now, if you do it this way with the dual lands, it's going to give you an option because it has nothing to guess what color you want. If you play the spell before, it kind of guesses how you want to tap your lands and won't ask you so many options. But anyways, we're going to add a green. I'm going to do this. Let's add a black just for fun. And we're going to add another green. And then we're going to cast the Jade Light Ranger. But wait, it's telling me to pay 1 green green. I just tap my lands. What happens if you tap your lands before anything is on the stack, the mana goes into your mana pool over here, which I showed you earlier. You can see you have 2 green and a black in your mana pool. And this is how you're going to pay now. You can pay 2 green and a black, and now you can cast the card. Right? The card came onto the battlefield, and it has an enter the battlefield trigger. You can see it here. When you hover over the trigger on the stack, it creates this arrow showing you where the trigger was created. Okay, so we're going to let it explore. And it explored twice. Do I want this Llanowar Elves? No, I think I'm going to put the Llanowar Elves into my graveyard. Okay, and then the forest went into my hand. Alright, so now I'm in combat. Since I have 2 creatures and he only has 1, I think I am going to attack. I'm going to choose all attackers just because this is the only guy that can attack. You can see the arrows created to my opponent. If there was a planeswalker on the field, you would have an option to choose whether you wanted to attack the planeswalker or the opponent. Okay. I'm attacking. Now we're on the blocker step. He has decided to block. Done. And the creature died. What a noob. Great, we're done. End combat, second main phase. I'm going to skip to the next turn. Okay. Upkeep. It's stopping me on the upkeep because I have land untapped. Let's go to the main step. He's going to play a Legion's Landing. Let that happen. When it comes to the battlefield, you can see there's a little triggered ability event behind it. This little icon right here lets you flip the card and see the backside. Right? It's going to create that 1/1 lifelink. And now it is my turn on the main step. Oh man, so much land. Alright. I think it's time for Vivian Reed to come out. So again, I recommend most of the time casting like this. Put the card on the stack, then tap all your lands. Find it to be easier. One reason why you might want to tap your lands before casting a spell, in certain situations when you're casting cards, maybe like Upheaval or Wildfire, and you want to just bank a bunch of mana before you destroy all your lands, that'd be one good reason to tap them before. But for the most part, I recommend putting the spell on the stack, then tapping your lands. One thing to note, if you click a card and put it on the stack, even though you have no way of paying for it, I believe your opponent can see this. So just like in a real game of Magic, you're like, I'm going to cast Vivian Reed, and you're like, whoops, I can't cast it. Now your opponent knows you have that in your hand. So just be mindful. Try not to misclick. I can't pay for this. I'm going to cancel. Put it back in my hand. All right, Vivian Reed. So, I don't really much like this enchantment. So I'm going to show you how Planeswalkers work. You just click it. It's going to give you this box. Gives you all the options. Okay. I am going to do the -3 and destroy this enchantment. Again, when the card is on the stack, it has this little text box here indicating that it is a triggered ability, not a permanent. Okay, now it's telling me to select an artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. I'm going to choose the Legion's Landing. And now we get to let that resolve. And boom. Done. Alright, now we can go to combat. I'm going to attack with everything. I attacked with one creature. I was unblocked. And now the damage was dealt. End combat. And let's go to next turn. Alright, let's go to his main step. Oh, he's attacking me. And that's all he did. So you can see the AI is really not that good. Let's close this game out. Let's get that Carnage Tyrant out. Boom. Alright. Played the Carnage Tyrant. Let's do Vivian Reed's +1. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can also see that there are 3 abilities, but since I can't play the bottom 2, it's only giving me the option for the +1. Kind of nice. Okay, so the ability goes on the stack, giving my opponent a chance to respond to it. We're going to let it resolve. And what do? We hear the revealed cards. Do you wish to reveal a creature or land card and put it into your hand? Yes. And now we have to select the creature. The highlighted are the options available. Since this deck has a lot of 1/1s, I'm going to grab the Seeker's Squire since he has 2 toughness. She, I guess. I revealed this to my opponent, and it went into my hand. Close these windows now. You don't need them. Great. Let's go to combat. Let's attack. And he's unblocked. Loses 3 life. Done. Let's go to the next turn. Let's go to their main step. Alright. He's going to flower. cast Flower to get a land. Go for it. Revealed that. He skipped to me. Big mistake. Alright, let's play another land. For fun, let's show you how a targeted spell works. Let's do the Vraska's Contempt. You're going to put it on the stack, and then choose the creature or the planeswalker. I'm going to choose this one right here. And now it's telling me to pay. So, let's do black, black, green. Done. The spell resolved. He now has no blockers. So let's go to our combat. Let's just attack with everything. Oh, I accidentally misclicked and hit nothing. Okay, perfect. Let's do Vivian Reed's +1. Look at the top 4. Alright. Oh, I want that Chupacabra. So I do want to reveal the Chupacabra. It goes into my hand, and my opponent knows I have it now. Let's explore. Okay. And now the triggered ability. Exploring this. Do you want to put it into a graveyard? No, let's just pump them up. Great. End step. Let's go to the next turn. Go to his main step. Alright, he's playing a Planeswalker. Too bad I have a Vraska's Contempt. Let's allow it. Okay. He is going to do the -2 return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. He's getting the Adonto Vanguard. Alright. Let's play land. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's Vraska's Contempt. Choose that Planeswalker. Black. Black. Done. So that Planeswalker is in exile. You can leave it here. You could also check their graveyard here again. It's got the Legion's Landing. Or what cards are in exile. Alright. Now let's play that Chupacabra. Perfect. And then when it enters the battlefield, that's when the triggered ability happens. Select the creature. Here, I'm going to hit done. He's tapped out. Okay, so let's go done. Start combat done. All attack. Damage is down to 3. Alright. Conclave Tribunal. What did he choose? He chose my Vivian Reed. Shucks. Alright, let's just skip to combat. Done. All attack. Done. And win. Okay. Told me I won on turn 17. What a fail. Okay. Now, after each game, you have a chance to sideboard. This is your main deck. This is your sideboard. Feel free to swap things in and out. And then whenever you've made all your changes you like, you can hit either submit in 60 seconds, maybe give you a chance to go get a drink of water or something, or just submit right away. Your game has started. And let's go to the next game. Okay, so I think we went over everything that you need to know to play the game. One last thing is if you right-click on the battlefield, you're going to get some extra options. Okay, you can choose mana paint, automatic mana, or just the first mana ability when tapping lands, just to maybe give you less windows. I haven't decided what I like or not. I'm just leaving it on the default. You can do automatic confirms. Yeah, I think probably these are the most important under the right-click menu. So rollback. If the game allows rollbacks, if you're playing with another human opponent, and you make some bad misclick, misplay, something like that, you can roll back to the start of the current turn, and it'll ask your opponent if that's okay. And if you both agree, then you can go back. Okay. Also, here's the concede button. Right here, this is concede the game. But you can concede the whole match if you want. And that's what I'm going to do right here. Concede the match. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. Lost the game on turn 1 because I'm the one who conceded. Okay. And then down here, player computer is the winner. We'll close the game. All right. I think that's enough to show you how to play the game. Thanks for watching. And in future videos, I'm going to show you how to fix missing card images. And I'm also going to create a video about all these preferences right here. Especially the GUI. Some of these sliders don't really seem super intuitive, specifically what they do. So we'll go over that later. All right, thanks for watching.